because I wouldn't have been in prison if it wasn't Gary Lineker's brother. It's every single paper across the world. We all had our little cubicles which you're handcuffed to. Let's turn the radio on, first thing.
Gary Lineker's burglar brother, Wayne Lineker, is jailed for fraud.
Would you say that prison sentence was your lowest point in your life?
That moment I'll never forget in my life.
A lot of speculation in the papers and the social media that you're falling out, you hate each other. I've seen it all. Gary
actually put in his book, my brother had more skill in his little toe than I had in my whole body. He wrote that in his book. I'm like, yeah, come on. I'll always be his biggest fan, and I am eternally grateful to have been his brother.
I can see the emotion in you, even when you're thinking back to them days.
Yeah, I'm trying not to cry. I'm like, whoa, bro, what's wrong with you? Like, leave her alone, leave her alone. And he just turned around and just sparked me out. So I literally the whole body just numbed and just hit the deck. But if I was standing 2 yards back, the consequences could have been a lot different.
Have you had any health scares over the years?
Oops, I can't say that.
We'll cut that. We're joined by the man himself, Wayne Lineker, again.
We're back together, bro. Yeah, I'm very good, thank you, mate, yeah.
Mate, it's been... This is your third time on the pod.
Yeah, my first time in Sunderland, though.
First time in Sunderland. First time for everything. I don't know if you'll be here again, mate, but twice of them, I flew out to Ibiza to make it happen at Ocean, and what a place. I mean, anyone who's been to Ocean knows just how phenomenal that place is. There's just nowhere like that in the world. There's just nowhere like that in the world.
It's become that, yeah. So it's become that brand now, really. It's took us a lot. 14th year this year, by the way. We opened 14 years ago in June, which is crazy. And we've just gone, from strength to strength. And it's the Brits' dream place, isn't it? Their happy place, and they all have a good time. And so I'm very proud of it.
People know that Ocean's opened up in Dubai and all now. I've not actually been to the Ocean in Dubai, but how does it compare to Ibiza?
Well, I'll be honest, we thought we'd just be able to pick our model up and take it out of Ibiza and just drop it into Dubai. But we got a quick, short, sharp lesson. And it was very difficult for a time. I mean, the clientele's different. The environment's different. Not within the club, it's the same, but the surrounding areas, and it's a city. It's not your Sanang crowd. You know what I mean? The big thing that I noticed was they don't dance like they do in Ibiza. They're a lot calmer. They're a lot, which is why Ibiza's unique. It will never be beat. It's impossible. It's completely unique. A freak of nature, I call it. The plot of land we've got, and yeah, we went to Dubai and we had quite a successful opening. That went really well, and then we felt the heat a bit as it was getting a little bit quiet in the weeks, and we had to adjust a lot of things, especially my partners that were over there. My son, Dwayne, Tony, Maxie, and Mr. Wheelchair. And we've several meetings of how we can tweak it a little bit and without losing the ocean way of life, which is happy. It's the production, it's the shows, it's the music, everybody happy in the sunshine, drinking out the drinks, and all our staff integrating with the crowds. But the problem is the crowds weren't there. It was pretty hard to see, because Ocean's every single day it's full. There's never a day it's not full. So, and it's more weekendy there. My Saturdays are very good. Fridays are very good now. Sundays are getting better. But it's just them few days in the week it's really difficult, because we're used to 7 days a week, and we wanted that in Dubai, and we're getting there. But like I say, we've had to make some tweaks and some changes. The dance floor is the one. Whereas 3 o'clock in the afternoon at Ocean, the dance floor's full. And we had the similar size dance floor, similar layout. But no one was dancing. It was just different. They were having a nice time, but they're not the Sunderland crowd, you know. They just want to party. They just want to just go mad, and where it's a completely different thing there. But we've adjusted. The dance floor's smaller now. We've put some tables and chairs around there, and it's starting to work really, really well. Yeah, but we're very happy now. We're in a great position, you know. As you can see on social media, it's busy. Because that was a tough bit for me as well, because I was over there early doors and for a few months, and yeah, I was thinking, you know, it's difficult for me to post videos all the time and on my story, this, that, and it's not a full venue, and it's not what I'm used to.
I was going to ask you that, because I know we touched on it last time, but I'm pretty sure you're the most selfied man in the world, aren't you? You're doing 400-500 selfies a day or something. I mean, mate, yeah. I've spent hours at Ocean with you on the table, and I know what it's like when people win picture. How do you physically manage that, or do you feel like it's your duty to do that?
I wouldn't call it a duty. I'd call it something that I feel bad if I don't go and take these pictures with them. You know, I could never say no, ever. You know, it doesn't matter. There's a video I did with Jack Skipper. It went pretty viral. It was clever. You know, we even did a scene where I was on the toilet and he popped in and said, "Can I have a selfie?" But yeah, it's become that thing now. You know, it's just happened by accident. You know, the more people would take a picture of it, the more presence I had on social media, and then the parents start getting involved, saying, "If you go in Ocean, you got to get a picture of Wayne." And then the lads come up and say, "Wayne, my mum wants me to have a picture with you," and it's nice. It's nice until they're all wasted, and then it's a problem because I have to leave sometimes quite early because it becomes a bit much. But I do enjoy it, and I'm very, I can't believe it's become that thing it is.
Was it like that from Deal?
This stag and hen parties, you know, they all have a bucket list, especially the Hindus. You know, what's they've got 10 things to do in Ibiza. Always number one is selfie of Wayne Lineker or picture of Wayne Lineker.
Mate, I can't even tell you how many flights I've been on where I've heard people, the planning Ocean. So in the amount of times I've been, it's almost like I'm not going to Ibiza, I'm going to Ocean. Ibiza just happens to be where it is.
Do you know what's happening now, which is absolutely remarkable, is people are now booking their bed before their flight in case they can't get a bed. Yeah, which is becoming a thing because we sell out very early now. So people are now booking their flights and accommodation around the possibility of getting a bed at Ocean. Once they book their bed, they'll book their flights, which is amazing. It's ridiculous, yeah.
This whole selfie thing, was that something that happened from day one, Wayne? Like, because you were always known before the clubbing scene, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, it happened a little bit, because obviously, way back, I was known more for being Gary's brother, which took me a long time to lose. And then I had Lineker's, I had a very successful business, which is the foundation of where we're all at now. So it's just been a really gradual increase, 2012 it was 30, 40 pictures a day. By 2015 it's 100. By 2018 200 a day. And 2020, well, there was less then because it was COVID. But 2023 it just went mental. So I literally have to plan how I get in Ocean now and how I get through the crowd, which is amazing. And I do love it, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun. But now it's just crazy.
Because when I've been there and I've been with you and I've seen how people escort you in and out the building, and it's almost like a secret fucking operation to get you in and out. There's part of that. Does that give you a thrill, or is it more like you just don't want the people who are wasted, as you say? Or do you actually get, like, is it a bit excited because you are a public figure? You alright, people? Hope you're enjoying the episode so far. Here's a random one for you. Most of you who are actually watching this episode don't actually subscribe to it. So just do us a favour, will you? Can you click the like button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss another episode, hit subscribe, all that good stuff, because we go up and down the country to try and bring you the best show possible. We're not messing around here, so please just show some love, will you?
You know, I'm not going to deny, you know, I've always liked the attention. But I literally have to plan the way I get through Ocean now. You know, I'll go from the reception area, out the front, right round the back, come through the back doors to get in the VIP. Otherwise, it just takes me so long. And if it's in the daytime when everyone's reasonably sober, just a bit merry, it's nice. But I'm not walking through the crowd at 7 at night. It's just mental. So all the lads get confident when they've had a few San Miguel's, yeah.
Do you think you'd have been like that? You know, when you were a young lad, if you'd got into a club and there was someone who was, you know, was a public figure, would you have wanted a selfie with people?
Always, yeah.
Well, yeah.
I love it, yeah. Well, when I was young, there was no cameras, so I couldn't do it. It was autographs back then.
But I mean, if you saw someone that you looked
yeah,
at,
I mean, that's another thing that I do. It's immediately, as soon as we get someone high profile, I'll go and have a picture with them. You know, your Ed Sheerans, your Conor McGregor's, and Jack Grealish, and
Jason Derulo.
I mean, the list is endless, but, you know, Dan Bilzerian. And so, yeah, so I do it because I enjoy it, and I know it's going to get some social media presence, and, you know, like people like Ed Sheeran, it's every single paper across the world when Ed Sheeran comes in. You know, he performs on the stage, and just because he enjoys it, you know, we don't pay him. You know, we could never afford to pay Ed Sheeran, but so it's very important for me to interact with the celebs and all the high-profile people, and as I do with everyone. You know, it's just that everyone else don't get the press.
I was going to say, mate, because that is one thing I'll say about you, and hats off to you. I know you. It's always stuck in my head when you said about being humble, and when you know, it's something that you've kind of. I'll always attach that phrase to your name.
You know, walking past people when they want some attention and ignoring them, I just can't. It's not in my blood. I just couldn't do it. You know, I do see footballers. You know, they're like, no photos, no this, none that. Can I have a photo, mate? No. Do you know what I mean? Or the security, like, say no. You know, that's just not me. I say it all the time. If I can make someone's day 1% better by having a picture took with them, I will do. You know, so it is nice, yeah.
It's amazing, that, Ed. You know what, as well, with the, again, Dan Bilzerian, Conor McGregor, Jason Derulo, whoever it is, Wayne, a lot of people who have got clubs and events and things, what they'll do is, you'll see it all the time, they'll book someone first to get the crowd. How have you managed to get these people at your venue? Do you try and book them, or are they just short? Like, I'm aware that Ed Sheeran just showed up, didn't he? Imagine being a punter in the crowd and Ed comes in.
Ed's actually a really good friend of my partner, Tony's. So if Ed's coming to the venue, he'll message Tony, and Tony will make sure he's looked after. And I have people like that, you know, that message me, high-profile people. But regarding the clients, it's just, they just have a great time. They know that their best day of their holiday is going to be at Ocean. It's just the way it is.
So, out of a list of all the profiles, do you think I'm the biggest you've had?
You're one of them, mate.
No, mate, it's unbelievable. You know, when you mentioned earlier on, just to tap a little bit deeper, you mentioned about trying to shake the name of being Gary's brother. Was that something that bothered you?
Yeah.
Or was it just a natural progression?
It bothered me a lot, yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, a lot. You know, I'm obviously constantly in the papers all the time, and for whatever reason, good or bad. But and it used to be Gary's brother, blah blah blah. You know, I got a prison sentence, for a tax offence many years ago, and about 15, 16 years ago now. And at that point, I was Gary's brother. I wasn't Wayne Lineker, you know, and all the papers, all the headlines were Gary Lineker's brother sentenced to this, blah 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 for this, and it was just a bit deflating. Like, but at that time he was so big, like he was like captain of England, and you know, winning golden boots and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I understood it. But then as I started to build my own career, and you know, because it started way before that with the Linekers. I had 12 Linekers in the year 2000, you know, and that shortly after that was when I got done for tax, which I actually went to the Court of Appeal because I was wrongfully put in prison, and they realised it, and in the end the sentence was just ridiculous. You know, no one's ever been put in prison for a tax offence of that minor amount.
How long did you get, like?
They gave me 2.5 years.
Bloody hell.
And it took me 7.5 years to get it to the court, 7.5 months, sorry, to get it to the Court of Appeal. And it got to the Court of Appeal eventually, and they released me, which was a great feeling.
What prison were you in?
I started off in Brixton.
Fucking hell,
I left the courtroom, I left the courtroom in I think it was somewhere near Fenchurch Street in city of London. Can't remember the courts. And he gave me the sentence. I'm like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this got to be a joke. And you go into the back of the courthouse, and you're in handcuffs, and like, I'm like, oh, so, and you go in them they transport you from that room into a security court van.
Sweatbox.
A little sweatbox, yeah. There's 6 little cabins in there, and there was 4 other guys. I think it was 4 or 5, and me. We all had our little cubicles which you're handcuffed to, and I'm like, worst hour of my life. I'm going, this is not cool. The driver, the screw, call him Screws. He said, anybody want some music? Like, I'm thinking, oh, I want music. And all the other lads are going, yeah, stick it on, stick some tunes on. It's turned the radio on, first thing, Gary Lineker's brother sentenced to 2.5 years in prison for this. I'm like, oh, that moment I'll never forget in my life. And then we drove to Brixton Prison, and I'm queuing up for my prison uniform, and oh, it was terrible.
Mate, obviously you're going to feel like almost scum of the earth, I'd imagine, but then you kind of wrongfully put in that position and all the rest of it. Were you received well in there? Did you get a reception?
Really well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't obviously didn't have the profile I had now, but Gary was huge, so you know, and I was sort of getting my name about because of the Linekers, and everyone loved Tenerife, and everyone used to go, and yeah, I got really well looked after, and everyone's like, anything you need, and you know, it's really nice. But I remember because you have to share a cell, and I had a new after about a week, because you get about a week or 2 weeks normally before you're transferred to an open prison, which is nothing. It's easy. It's like a little health farm. So, not quite, but you got your own cell and this, that, and the other. And I'll never forget, the screw came into my cell because the guy that I was with before left, and I was on my own, and he's come in, he's gone, oh, you've got a new cellmate. I went, come in. I went, okay, cool. Thinking, oh, God. And he said, just to let you know, he's a recovering crack addict. He may shake and he may have, you know, seizures and stuff. I'm like, lovely. So this big guy, huge he was, huge, like comes in. Anyway, that night I didn't sleep a wink. He's literally snoring like King Kong, you know, like it was so bad. And yeah, and I had to have 2 or 3 nights with him, and then I got transferred, and it was all right after that. And then, you know, you just wait for your Court of Appeal date. Yeah, it's bizarre to think, but I wouldn't change it. I learnt so much in prison. You know, everyone's nice. They're not, you know, you think you're going into, because obviously I wasn't put in with, the naughty people. It was all minor offences, and but they're all nice people.
Was that?
Well, they all treated you nice, and
there's a level of respect in there. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never been in prison, but I've
Yeah.
had a lot of people who have, and on the podcast, and like we've had these conversations. Would you say that prison sentence was your lowest point in your life?
yeah, without a doubt, that moment I left the courthouse, it was the lowest point in my life.
What's going through your mind in terms of low points? Like, how low is it in your mind? Are you
Well, do you
thinking
know
of
what annoyed
like,
me? My bar in Lineker's in Tenerife was absolutely packed every single night, and I'll still say it now. It's the busiest bar per square metre the world's ever seen. It was ridiculous because it was back in the day when people used to meet there was no daytime events, and it was right at the start of the season. It was April. I actually got sentenced on I think it was my 44th birthday.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
25th.
Yeah. And I'm just thinking, I'm in Brixton Prison. I should be in Lineker's Tenerife, having the time of my life, because I'm not doing nothing wrong. I don't deserve to be here. Well, not, obviously there was,
Yeah, it's do you think that?
And yeah, so basically my whole time spent in prison was the whole summer of that particular year, and so that was difficult. If it was in the winter, it wouldn't have been so bad. It's not so busy, and but yeah.
Were you worried about kind of tarnishing the Lineker name, like even your brother as well, or was he pissed off about it?
No, I mean at that time Gary and I were really close, and he helped me a lot. He's actually the one that got me the. See, I think he felt a bit guilty because I wouldn't have been in prison if I wasn't Gary Lineker's brother. Not a chance. Not a chance. It's the only reason.
You want to make a name of you?
Yeah. I think he realised that. My first phone call from prison was to my brother. And he said, "Don't worry, I'll get you out, And he got the best lawyers and the best solicitors, and yeah, it took a long time, but after 7 months they let me out. I went to the Court of Appeal and let me out. That was a great day. That was a great day. That was probably the best day of my life, excluding my children being born. But yeah, to have that freedom after, you're talking about you're earning £7 a week working in the library and this, that and the other, and all the lifestyle that I had was taken away from me. And now my little daughter, Tia, that was the hardest thing. Tia, because she was really young. She was like 4. And she used to come visit me every week with my ex-girlfriend at the time. And she never missed a week, ever. And we used to, you just try and keep yourself occupied. Like, I bought a colouring book. I got her to bring a colouring book in, and I used to colour part of it, send it in the post to her. She used to colour part of it, send it back. And after about 2 or 3 weeks, we'd have a full. But I used to get so excited when I used to see they used to bring you your mail, throw it on your bed. I'm screaming out, "It's Tia." And yeah, it was. That was she was the toughest thing for me, to miss them certain months of her growing up, which I thought was going to be a couple of years.
That's the hardest bit. I mean, even when you're talking now, I feel like I can see the emotion in you, even when you're thinking back to them days.
Yeah, I'm trying not to cry here.
But do you know what's crazy, mate? Like, although you've been through them things, what a bloke you've turned out to be, and now the life you can give them people around you and help them people. Do you know what I mean? So as much as, and I say this all the time, as much as you went through the shit, and it's been horrible, and the heartache and everything you've had to go through, the adversity, if you like, but at the same time...
Yeah, I mean, let's not feel sorry for me. It was just a moment in my life. It's like, I'm 62 now. That's not even... Well, 7 months is not about 1% of my life.
Yeah.
But I learnt so much. You know, it was, I learnt so much, and even though it was pretty tough at the time, especially the first few weeks while I was in Brixton prison, because you're 23 hours in your cell, you're allowed out for an hour a day, and then you go and get your slobs at night.
It's just mad when I think of your lifestyle now.
Yeah, I know.
Like compared to that, being in a cell.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, to be honest.
Have you always had that hunger in you, Wayne, to do what you're doing? Because like you're on a mission always. Even when I'm with you, you're always on your phone, WhatsApp, and doing this, doing that. Like it's constant. Even now,
it's constant. Yeah.
Do you like that, or do you feel like you have to do that? Is that your job?
Well, now I have to do it because I'm 200 WhatsApp messages a day. It's ridiculous. And if I don't reply, if I go out now, which is very rare now, and I'm hungover for a day or two, I'm dealing with 600 messages after 2 or 3 days and not replying to people. So that's another reason I don't get mashed.
Mate, if I was I'd be binning me phone like.
It's hard work, bro. You know, I've got my DMs, I need 3 or 4 of me. I mean, fortunately, I've got a great social media team. Yasmin and Alicia, they help me with my DMs, and so it's a lot. But I do enjoy it. It's not, my screen time is like 10 hours a day now, of which 7 is on WhatsApp. Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to that.
I know.
Fucking mental.
I'll come out here and I'll have 20. I've caught up on my messages on the way there, but I reckon I'll have 20 or 30 messages by the time we've had this interview.
You're 62, aren't you? Are you all right? Are you okay?
Mentally?
Aye.
No, I've never been all right mentally.
But like, are you sound as a person? Like, are you all right now?
I feel great, yeah.
Hectic lifestyle at that age. I know the doctors have called you a medical marvel before. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I am a medical marvel, for sure.
But going to them clubs and drinking and doing all the things, I know you simmer down, I know you don't drink a lot and stuff, but it comes with the territory. But I know I asked you off camera, and I'll ask you again, do you feel 62?
I mean, we'll get little signs now, but, sort of.
Fucking 72.
Yeah. Do you know what I found, though? It's alcohol at my age, you just got to slow down, like seriously slow down, because it is poison. And I know if I've been drinking for a week continually, I start feeling I can't walk. Well, I can walk, but I feel every step, and I'm like, it's like all them little signs that they affect you when you're older. But now at the moment, I feel brand new, bro.
It's mad because
I don't drink much now. I've finally found a good balance. I'll go days or weeks or even 6 months without a drink last winter. So, whereas compared to before, I've just been a complete and utter animal.
But I know you're saying before, but you've got a mad balance because you do all these retreats and stuff, and you go on your health kicks and that, and also as much as you're on it for, how many parties are you doing? 300 a year or something? And now with Dubai, it's like, when does it fucking end? It probably doesn't end.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I've got a little WhatsApp group with my 2 sons, Dwayne and Sean, my oldest boys. It's called Innsbro, as in Innsbro. I've thought of that name because they're brothers. And we just talk about health stuff all the time, and one of them will pop up, "Daddy, okay? I've heard you've been drinking a little bit. You okay? Calm down, blah, blah, blah." Which happens less and less now. But if I ever get go a little bit mad, I'll message them, "Boys, I've messed up a bit the last few days. I'll get back on the track." And they encourage me, and so yeah. But they're both very much into their health. Dwayne and Sean, Sean's paddle mad. He's fantastic. He's one of the best players in Ibiza. Dwayne's into all his breathing classes and stuff like that. He holds his breath for some stupid amount of time now, like 3 minutes or something. I'm like, "You're mad, that can't be any good for you." But he's like, "Dad, it is."
And then obviously you've got Freddie, massive DJ now, isn't he?
Freddie, yeah, bless him. He's actually playing on my birthday on Friday at the opening pie. He's got the main set, which I'm very proud.
Has he got the main set, has he? You've whacked him on that.
7 o'clock, it's the big one.
I'll be there, mate. Is this he's going to be his first main set?
Main set, yeah. He's played at Ocean a couple of times, but it's more been a bit earlier. But he's built, because I don't put him on in the main set. You know, I'd never do that. He's on there for merit. You know, there's no way the music director of Ocean would put him on main set if he wasn't good enough. No way.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't ask him. And Freddie's asked me, he said, Dad, I appreciate everything you do for me, but I want to do this on my own, you know. You know, he's getting all his gigs on his own. I don't help him. Obviously, I would if he wanted me to, but he's done it on his own, and it's very proud for me. And, yeah, and he got to Ocean because obviously he's my son and he's going to get jump the queue a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's got to be good enough to get on Ocean. You can't get on Ocean unless you've got an exceptional talent. And, you know, so...
I think it's good to hear that, like, because a lot of people are instantly going to think it's because he's your son.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
You know, it's like people say to me, you're only where you are because your brother. No, I'm not, mate. I'm where I am because of me.
I mean, to be fair, no disrespect, mate, but you're a bigger name than Gary now.
Well, I don't know about bigger, but...
I bet you if you ask a random sample in the street, Wayne Lineker and Gary Lineker, I don't know, we'll leave it in the comments, see what people say.
No, Gary's an A-lister, bro.
But is he getting 400 selfies a day?
No, because he'd probably say no. No, he wouldn't. He's not like that. He's all right. But I'll get more exposure social media-wise than my brother because of all the selfies and this and the other. But yeah, I mean, we're two different people. We always have been. We always will be. But I'll always be his biggest fan. And I am eternally grateful to have been his brother, you know. And we were super close when we were little, like never left each other's side. But yeah, I've made my own name now, and I think he recognises that. He's never, you know, he's always helped me when we were closer than what we are now. But he's always been by my side. He's always been there for me. So I'll always be his biggest fan, which I was when he was playing for England, and it was just such a buzz.
It's lovely that, mate. And do you know what, mate? I think a lot of speculation in the papers and the social media that you're falling out, you hate each other. I've seen it all. But
we don't hate each other. We it's not like that. You know, there's something happened a few years ago which I won't talk about, but it's just never really fixed itself, which is a big shame. I've tried so hard.
But that's what I wanted to say, though.
But when, like, my nephew's getting married in May, Harry, he's funny. And we'll all be there, all the family, all of Gary's family, all my family. And it'll be like nothing's ever happened. You know, talk to me and we'll be friends and we'll have a quick chat and, you know, it's just strange. And then after that wedding, we probably won't speak again till the next wedding or the next funeral.
Mate, you're getting on now, though.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? And that's
shame.
But what I will say, mate, is like, and again, for the listeners or viewers of this podcast, anytime I've talked to you in private about these situations, you've always spoke very highly of your brother. You've always admired. You can tell you've always admired your brother.
I've got nothing but respect for Gary for what he's done and the way he's handled his career, and you know, he's the other end of the scale to me. I'm a bit of a lunatic, always have been, and he's always been very cautious and wary of his profile and what he does and how he acts and who he can speak to, who he can't speak to. But he's cool. He's very in control of his own life.
I hope to see one day you fix whatever.
So.
I hope so, mate.
Too.
Imagine that podcast.
Imagine that picture on Instagram.
Fucking hell. Could you not just AI it? You need an AI one and just fucking get it out.
That's funny. Yeah.
Cheers for turning up, bro.
Bless him. He's all right.
That is madness, mate. That is absolutely fucking crazy, mate. Have you had any health scares over the years? If you don't know by now, I run a business called The Content PT. I create content for influencers, PTs, online coaches and fitness brands all around the world. So if you are someone who's in need for sexy content for your social media, or you really want to maintain a competitive edge in your industry, drop me a DM on Instagram.
Not serious ones, no.
Because the reason I ask is obviously with your son Freddie, you can almost see like his timeline, can't you? You can kind of see he's DJing now. There's going to be temptation. There's going to be girls, potentially drugs. I know you're not into all that, mate, but you do like a bit of a drink now and then and all that. So how do you guide him? I know you're a good role model as a dad, and he kind of obviously wants to follow in your footsteps, not as a DJ, but certainly have a public profile. That's going to come with the territory. How do you kind of guide him from not getting into the bullshit?
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, he's a good kid. His head's switched on. Super polite, very humble. I don't get. Everybody that's met him is just like, oh my God, your boy's so nice, and because he could be a little cocky fucker, and he's not at all. He's a good-looking boy. Girls love him. So yeah, I'm sure, not temptation so much as just industry stuff could get in the way. Let's hopefully not. Like I say, he's a clever kid. He loves the gym, loves it. That's his hobby. It's his lifestyle. So, hopefully he'll continue that and not go down that path.
Because he was, when I was speaking to him last, because he was going to come on the pod a few months back, but he was at uni at the time. And now that he's not there, now he's not at uni anymore. What was that conversation like? Dad, I want to leave uni and become a DJ.
Well, it's a funny one, because I left school at 14. I never went to college, I never took an exam, didn't do anything. I just left. But in them days, you sort of, it wasn't the crime it is now. Because I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to go and work with my dad on the fruit and veg markets. I wanted to learn this and learn that about business, and I didn't want to go and study at school. So he got lucky with me, because he come to me and said, Dad, it's killing me. I can't. I'm just starting my career in DJing. Because he came to me must have been 2 years ago. Dad, I want to buy some decks. But he always used to, soon as I picked him up from school, when I was in the UK, I used to pick him up from school, and first thing he did, put his connect his phone to the car and play his tunes, and he just loved music, and I know that's his passion. He just, everything, just music. And his mum had other ideas for him, bless her. She's a great mum. She's done an incredible job with him, and but she was sort of the other way. So she's going mad at me. Wayne, he's got to finish this. He's got to do this. He's got to get this. He's got to do that. I'm like, no, he's not. He wants to leave. He doesn't want to sit in there, all day, every day. And I'm probably being a bad parent here, but I said, come on, let him do his thing. Let him be. He's never going to be anything else. He's always going to be a DJ. And these are the best years of his life, And now he's into producing. He's producing records, and so
did one with that Nathan Dawe, didn't he?
Did one with Nathan Dawe. He just sends me these tracks all the time. Dad, I just made this, and it's great buzz for me. But his mum's now, she's cool. She's like, she understands, and it took her a while to accept it, because she had this dream of him being, not a DJ really. Did you or Freddie or Dwayne or did any of them want to play football? Or yourself? Were you any good? I was good, yeah.
Oh yeah.
I used to play for my school, county, all the way through my schooling career, and then, only time I've ever seen my dad cry is when I went because I was playing at Leister when I was 15. After 3 nights a week after school, I was on Leicester City's football on the books, as was Gary, but he was a year above me. We used to go training at Beaver Drive, which is the training ground of Leicester. And I just didn't want to do it. I was good. Gary actually put in his book, his first ever book he wrote, he said, my brother had more skill in his little toe than I had in my whole body. He wrote that in his book. I'm like, yeah, come on.
That's mad, that, isn't it?
Yeah, but to be a footballer, you've got to have three things. You've got to have skill, you've got to have dedication, you've got to have commitment. You know, I only had one of them things. You know, that's just not me. I didn't want to go training every night. I wanted to be out with my mates down the brook. You know, having a fag on just messing about with the girls and having a laugh. And whereas Gary was in his room every night, focused. His mum was feeding him eggs. The Leister used to put him on eggs because he was a bit skinny, and he used to eat steak and eggs every single night. And I was like, I'll just have the eggs and chips, please.
You're all talented though, like, because I know about Gary, and I know that he can play snooker, golf. He's talented in many things. I think cricket was the thing that he was good at and what he loved the most, wasn't it?
Both of us were, yeah.
But you were not.
I could have been a professional cricketer. I was offered basically almost offered a contract at Leicestershire Cricket Club when I was 16. But again, I didn't want to do it. There's no money in it then. But I used to play for my school at Leicestershire Schools and Leicestershire County at cricket and football. Yeah.
Was it all? How much of your journey's been about money over chasing just something you want to do?
Well, I say it's never been about money. I mean, money's when you start a business and you start earning money. It's a buzz. It's a really addictive buzz. And then you want to earn more money. But you're having a good time doing it. You're enjoying it. You know. Yeah. But I've had money come and I've had money go. You know, I've been up, I've been down. Yeah, and then, you know, things like COVID, you know, just wiped me out. You know, it's like, and then you got to build it back up again. Obviously, we had a massive business anyway, but it just really hit us hard. All my business, I've 20 businesses, all in hospitality, all got hit, all got absolutely smashed to bits, you know. So COVID was a very tough time for me.
Because there's building it back up, and then there's truly losing it all. Like, when you say that, did you lose everything?
We would have lost everything if we weren't financially, as I'm talking about Ocean here, as financially strong as we were then. We were, you know, just absolutely flying. And then bang, overnight, just nothing, you know. I walked in Ocean on a Tuesday afternoon, 2020, when he called, what did he call? Was it called? Where no one was allowed to fly to any countries in the EU. Everyone had to stay in the UK, locked away in the summer. You know, and I was in Ibiza. It's a very similar thing there. And then it eased up a little bit, but nobody was booking. Nobody. And then he called, I can't remember what it's called now. He made this decision that nobody was allowed to fly, and all the airports got shut down. And I walked into Ocean on a Tuesday afternoon. I thought, I'm just going to have a little drive by, see how it is. Because we stayed open for a bit. And normally, you know, there's knocking on 2,000 people in there. And I've walked in there at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday evening, Kistry. And
best night, by the way.
The best. Well, that and Fridays, I think. For me. They're all amazing. But at that point, Kistry was unbelievable. So I thought, I'll go and make myself sad. I'll go and have a look. I walked in there. There's 2 beds taken, 14 people in there.
Fucking hell.
And the size of that venue, it's like a football pitch when you take the people out. It's huge. And it just absolutely broke my heart. And there was no sign of it ending then either. You know, we were just losing money left, right.
Did you start making plans to do other things or not? Or were you like this?
Well, we were in the middle of doing a lot of other things then. You know, we were financially strong, so we were venturing out into other things, and yeah, it really hit us.
It's mad to see. Not only have you done that, though, you've went and opened Dubai. Like, that's how much you've changed things from that 14 people to Dubai. Isn't that mad?
It's pretty crazy. Yeah, But we're already sort of committed to Dubai during COVID, but we found a venue, and then we lost that because of COVID, which was on West Palm, which would have been a great venue, but we lost that because we couldn't continue with it, and there was some government problems with the council allowing us. They were going to build a road for us into the venue, or close to the venue, because we needed it, because the taxi drop was too far away, and so we ended up pulling out, and then it took us another year or so to find the venue we've got now, which we absolutely love. We're very happy there, but it's been like a 4-year battle to get open in Dubai.
Fucking mad, isn't it? I know this podcast is kind of serious, and that wasn't the plan, so I'm going to get light-hearted in a second, but there was one thing I want to ask you. Now, I know, obviously been around you long enough to know that you're loved. You are, hearts and minds, you've totally won. You're a good lad, humble, everyone wants to meet you, and you look after people. You've looked after me that many times, that's why I had to come pick you up today and all, and make sure that you're sound, mate. And I think that's really important, to just look after people. And with yourself, does it ever go the other way? Because you have effectively a life of many men's dreams. They would kill to be in your shoes. Yeah. Does it ever go the other way, where there's jealousy and envy and...
From outsiders or
from men?
No. I mean, I did have a period of time where I used to get a lot of abuse, which that's all stopped now. Mm-hmm. I don't see any hate towards me anymore. People are so nice to me. They're all like, it's become completely turned around, and but I don't ever get any issue. I mean, I had a big issue last year with that punch that I got on my chin, and that went viral. But aside of that, but that wasn't to do with, that was because he was abusing this girl, and I jumped in and tried to stop it, and he just gave me a
Was that what happened?
Yeah, I was left Eden Club with a girl and her friend, and I was just putting them in a cab, and he just pulled her by the arm and said, "Yeah, you this, you that." I won't say it on camera, but I'm like, "Whoa, bro, what's wrong with you? Like, leave her alone." And he just turned around and just sparked me out, like, strong punch. But I was very lucky, because if I was standing 2 yards back, there was a wall. If I'd have hit my head on that wall, because I literally the whole body just numbed and just hit the deck. But if I was standing 2 yards back, the consequences could have been a lot different.
So is that situation settled now?
Oh, we settled that, yeah.
Yeah. Because, mate, again, I'm not going to talk about that, because it's just all negative shit. But again, these type of things are part of the territory. In a way, you're going to get dickheads. You're in the nightlife arena, aren't you?
Yeah, but obviously you're surrounded by drinks and often drugs. Mm-hmm. So it's people don't have their normal persona about them.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to be careful, which is why I don't go out so much now, because obviously everyone sort of recognises me, and 95% they're all nice and lovely, but you never know, someone's like a bit wide or whatever, it could all go wrong. So I sort of avoid situations like that now. So, because if I go to nightclubs now, I'll take security.
Yeah.
I can't go on my own, really. It's just too much. Yeah.
Because that's the reason. I mean, I've kind of been around enough people to know how a lot of people go on in situations. But with yourself, do you ever feel like, when you're in public in general, do you ever feel like looking over your shoulder, or because people are going to recognise you? No,
not really. I mean, yeah, people recognise me, but they're not. They're nice to me. They're not.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have to worry about, people getting aggressive towards me and all that. They don't. Everyone's nice. And
there's a good chance everyone who knows has been to Ocean, or they know someone who's been to Ocean, had a good time. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I was speaking to someone literally earlier on.
I don't think there's many Brits between the ages of 25 and 40 that's not been to Ocean.
I mean, I'll tell you off camera, but there's a lad who I know, he spends 15 grand a year at Ocean.
Thank you very much.
He's from here. So, but that's what's mad. Like, there's people who are just, that's their thing. That's their blowout Ocean.
But they do get good value for money.
Yeah, of course.
You know, we're not that expensive. We're just, you know, that's our thing. You know, we're in San Antonio. The crowds, you know, they're not high end clients. So we don't charge the prices that Ushuaia or High have, and you know, we're very wary that we don't step over that line and lose the name we've got because we've, you know, value. You get value at Ocean. You know, you get a lot. You know, you get looked after. You get all the show, all the production. You get, you know, there's a lot of expense that goes into a day out at Ocean from our side of things.
That's what I mean, man. There's not.
You know, we refurb it every single year. You know, I'm going to go back next week and it's going to look like beautiful, like absolutely spotless. You know, because we reinvest back into the venue every year. Because
I mean, I've never been to a place on earth that is that way run. Honestly, I'm not just saying that because you're here, mate. There's nowhere, and I've been to a lot of places around the world, and there's nowhere I've seen like that.
You know what? You have to in a daytime venue, because I've had Lineker's bars for years, and I might do them up every 3 or 4 years. But if that was a daytime venue, you'd have to do it every year, because it gets battered. And the nighttime, a night venue hides multitudes of sins. You don't see anything. You don't see the little bits and bobs. But when the sun's shining on the venue, you have to really. And we want to as well. We want it to look. We want people to walk in there and go, wow, you know, and they do. It's a wow venue.
Yeah, I mean, it was at the point where I even considered, I mean, I think I rang you and asked you about this, considered getting married at Ocean.
No,
Do you know what I mean?
Well, actually, my partner, what's it called when you can marry someone?
You can like...
An aid or something? I don't know.
I can't remember.
There's a word for it, but Tony's actually legal to marry people now.
Well, when you said you were like, actually, we could pull this off, I thought, you fucking taking the piss.
He's legal. He can legally marry someone. Because he had a massive wedding party, didn't he? And he went through all the things and got... It's called... Is it unaided or unaided, something like that? I can't remember.
Can't remember the name.
But yeah, he can legally marry now.
Funny stories, Wayne. I want to swap it onto a bit more light-hearted stuff because I know I've talked about the canny deep shit and all that type of stuff, but a load of things happen at Ocean. A load of things happen in your life. I know.
I've got a funny story though. If you want a funny story?
Let's go.
So, 10 years ago, I had a stroke. Yeah, full on stroke.
I mean, Wayne, that was a health scare. I asked you if you had any health scares.
I did have one. Yeah.
Oh, I had a stroke.
And here's the story. So I'm in the back of. I'm with my ex Danielle. We're going to a Thai restaurant. It's like 7 at night. Beautiful evening. Felt fine. Got in the back of the cab and we're driving towards the restaurant. And I've gone, like, whoa. So I'm gone, Dan, I'm in trouble. She went, what's up? I said, I can't feel anything. I'm paralysed. She's screaming. And like, I couldn't feel anything on this. You could hit me around the side of the face with a baseball bat. All this side was fine. It's just the heart. And I'm like, fucking hell, I'm in trouble. And she's screaming to the taxi driver, get an ambulance, please, ambulance. He's gone, no, 2 minutes hospital. I was so lucky. Because if you get stroke early, you're all right. Well, you can be. So when I've got to the hospital, dragging me out, sticking me on this, can't feel a thing. I'm like, oh, what's going on here? Like, they put me in the elevator, done all these bits and bobs to me, stuck me in the room. Danielle's come in. She's crying and it's scenes and like. So I'm thinking I'm banging trouble here. Anyway, it went. So very good medical care in Dubai. Really, really good. Like top drawer. So the specialists come in, see me, said, we're going to run some tests, this, that and the other. So I said, okay. They ran all these tests, couldn't find out what it was. And they wouldn't let me fly. They said, you can't fly yet until the medication kicks in and you can get on the plane and otherwise it's too dangerous. So I said, okay. So I had to stay. He said, go and stay somewhere really quiet. So there's a desert hotel there. It's really beautiful. So I went there, first night in there. I was going to stay there 2 or 3 nights till I was allowed to fly. I've got up out of my bed in the middle of the night, thirsty, thought I'll have a can of Coke out the fridge. I bent down, another stroke. I'm like, oh, I'm in trouble here, man. But a good friend of mine, Max White,
I know Max.
You know Max?
Yeah, I know Max.
He put a security guard on my door all night with a car outside. He said, just in case, I want to make sure you're all right. So straight in to the hospital again. Max's guy took me. Andy, his name was. And so I'm like, oh, man. So I was 3 or 4 days back in hospital. They still didn't know what's happened, why I'm having them. And then I eventually got home, went to King's Square or Queen's Square, where the big neurology centre of the world is, the best of the best. I saw a guy called Dr. Sharma, top of the game. So I went in his office. You know, I felt fine. I didn't feel nothing wrong with me. I just want to see what's happening with these strokes. So they ran all the tests again. He called me in his office, he said, we can't find it. We cannot find it. He said, I've got one more test to do. I've gone, okay, what's that? He said, we need to scan your neck, MRI scan your neck, just to check. So they did all that. I've gone home, he's called me, found it. We know what it is. I was like, okay. He said, come to the office, come in, can you come in tomorrow? So I'm thinking, oh no, I can't sleep, what's happened? So I walked into his office and he's gone, you severely tore your neck artery. Because when you have a stroke, you have it on the other side to where the problem is. So he said, you've had a serious accident over the last, you've had a serious accident, you've had a car crash or something's happened. You fell off a mountain, what's happened? I said, nothing, I've not had an accident. I went, how long ago? He said, it's probably around 3 months ago. So I'm there sitting thinking, when have I had an accident? Then I've thought about it, I've gone, oh my God. He's gone, what? I've gone, the squirrel. He's gone, what? I said, the squirrel. He said, what squirrel? He's thinking I'm nuts. So I said, I was taking the bins out. It's like 2 in, just before I went to bed. Take the bins out, I've opened the bin, there's a fucking squirrel there, looking at me like that. So the squirrel's jumped at me, or it's probably scared, just jumped out, but it's jumped at me. So I've gone, I've split. I remember splitting it. I remember hearing the noise or feeling it. He's going, oh my God. He said, that's the story. I said, that's what happened. He said, the squirrel jumped out at me. I ripped my neck. He went, so the squirrel nearly killed you. I went, yeah. Mad, innit?
Okay, no. So did you have a stroke or not?
I had 2, yeah.
So there were strokes because of the torn artery?
Yeah. What's happened is that over the course of time, the scar tissues blocked the passageway for the blood to go to the brain. And, yeah. So over a period of time, scar tissue was just built up and then, boom. The blood couldn't get up, so it alerts the brain, and then that's why you have your stroke.
Have you had it out since?
No. I'd say blood thinners now, but so that's fine.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But that's 10. I've not had one since 10 years, so I don't think I'll have one.
No, you'll be sound. You know, you'll be sound.
I just take my medication. It's sweet.
Is there any other mad stories surrounding Ocean that people don't know? Now, I know pretty much anything mad that happens at Ocean's kind of gone viral, but is there stuff that you know, just stupid shit that, like, do you know what I mean? Because there's that much mad shit that goes on.
I've got a funny one.
Oh,
yeah,
load them up.
So, do you know what a Sten party is?
No.
It's a stag and hen party in the same venue, but on different sides.
Right.
It's called a Sten party. So there's a Sten party at Ocean. Load of lads there, all with his mates, and his missus is over there with all her mates, and one of the girls from the hen party saw him going off to the toilet with a girl. So she's followed him. I'm not going to tell you what they're doing because I don't want to get myself in trouble, but I think you can imagine. Anyway, she caught him. She went back and told the missus, and that was it. Split up.
Mate, that place must take a lot of souls, like.
Yeah, it does, yeah. But I mean, that's just a rare thing. I mean, but obviously, that actually happened, and I didn't see it, but obviously I was the first to know. So, oh my God, you just said, I'll be here, what just happened?
Do you know that most flights are missed from Ibiza Airport?
Yeah.
And do you know, right...
In the world, like, times 10.
Do you know, right after I left you last year, I missed my flight?
Yeah.
Do you know, I think I told you, but
Yeah, you did, yeah. There's so many flights missed from there. I think my mate did the record of 13 missed flights in 14 days.
How was that? Did you just keep extending his stay?
Yeah, he just kept booking flights in the daytime, then not getting up for them because he was still awake at like 8, 9 in the morning or whatever he was doing.
Fucking hell, mate.
And it's just Ibiza Airport moves different.
Mate, have you surpassed your financial goals?
Well,
I don't mean as a business, just when you were younger, a young lad wanting to build things, and as you got them buzzers from building businesses and stuff. Are you at a position now where you're like, I'm sound? Or are you still hungry? Have you still got the desire?
I've still got the desire, yeah. So I have to, because things have not always gone right, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, COVID, killed me. So, yeah. And you never know what's around the corner, do you? But it's not, my buzz is walking in that venue and seeing everyone have an amazing time and having the greatest day of their lives. And that buzz will never repeated for financial reasons. I've always said, I stand on that stage, look out, think, wow, there's 2,000 people, all dancing, all up, all drinking, all in the sunshine, all having the time of their life, all looking amazing. That's the buzz for me.
It's unbelievable. What are your plans for the future then? Are we going to see more ocean Dubais and more oceans in other countries?
Yeah, we are looking for different opportunities in different countries. Yeah, but we are looking to expand the brand and take it worldwide. Yeah.
You're going to grow the beard or grow the hair? Are you going to grow your beard or hair? Are you going to change your look around?
Never.
Because I remember seeing...
Well, I say that. I don't know. I might grow my hair. Every time I grow my hair, I just don't like it. I think it makes me look older. So I like it short. But yeah, people say to me, "Oh, you look good in that picture." Yeah, but that's 10 years ago. My hair was a lot thicker then. I could put it back but I like it short.
Do you miss being young, Wayne?
I am young.
Yeah, you fuck.
I'm a baby, bro.
You fuck, mate.
You're mad.
You're an old bastard now, man. Nah, mate. Do you miss the days of being like on? I don't even mean being young. I just mean getting Linekers, getting your first bar. That dream you had with the 3 windows and all that.
Yeah, I don't miss any of that. I've done it. I've been there, seen it, done it. I'll leave all that to my son now. All my children, like Dwayne and Sean. They're me 40 years ago. Yeah, I'm very blessed that they take I don't do anything, bro. I don't do any work at all. I go to the partners meetings, which are 3 or 4 times a year, big ones, and that's it. I don't do anything else.
So what do you do every day?
Nothing. My phone, my WhatsApp. Well, when I say I don't do anything,
Yeah, I know you're busy on that, obviously I see it, but...
But business-wise, I don't get involved anymore. I let them all do it, and they're better at it than me, so... I did my bit back in the day. I'm enjoying myself now.
I'm rightfully so, mate. You built an empire, mate, and obviously the lads involved in everything you do here. Obviously, got a strong team. We've talked about in the Lab podcast about building teams and stuff, so I'm not going to gam back into that, mate. But I just hope that everything works out for you the way you want it to, mate. Wish you all the success in the world. You're a good bloke, and I hope to see you and Gary speak again. I do. I genuinely mean that. And I just want to say thank you for coming down, mate. And let's go and get some...
It's always a pleasure with you, mate. You're a very easy man to talk to.
Thank you,
I'm not
bro.
sure your missus will say that, but
Probably not, mate. Probably not. Let's go and get some beer.
no,
mate.
I always enjoy our podcast, mate, and yeah, it's very relaxed and very calm.
I'll see you next week at Ocean for your
I'll be
birthday,
there.
mate.
Good man.
Got a date on her. Got to come over on her.
Leave the microphone at home this time.
Aye, mate. Knee cameras, knee out. Just enjoy it.
That's it.
Thank you, bro.
You're welcome.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, bro.
Really appreciate
Love you.
it, mate. Thank you, bro.